What's good, everyone? It's Coach Abrish here from Mythical Games, back with another banger. Right now, I'm going to talk about 20-minute workout mastery. For those who don't know me yet, I'm Abrish Bobitz, and I help entrepreneurs add at least 40% to their business output in less than 3 months while losing more than 30 pounds of body fat and adding at least 7 pounds of muscle. So, how we do that and how we achieve it in less than 2 or 3 hours per week, of course, that all goes back to efficiency. And when you say that I'm too busy to work out, you don't have time to the gym, too much for you right now, maybe you will start next year, even though you have been saying this for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I just want to let you know that the only thing that you don't have time for is making excuses. But of course, me saying that won't really help you if your schedule is really back to back. So that's why I wrote this program or this structure for you because you can make by copy pasting this system your own custom programs for yourself if you understand how it works. So, but these are most common problems that you guys come to me with, mostly CEOs, entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, investors with really fully packed scheduled, making these excuses of time related nature. And this is one I want to completely eliminate. So why 20 minutes? What you can do even in 20 minutes? So in 20 minutes, you can do actually lots of things if you are doing it intense enough. So the reason why we are focusing on intensity is that the more intense you train, the less you can train. Just like the faster you run, for example, a sprinter, the less distance you can run. Just look at, for example, the legs of a marathon runner and a sprinter, completely different because completely different moves, forms of movement, and completely different way of structuring your workouts and basically your physique in general. So, when your days are full of demands, deadlines, and you can only squeeze in, let's say, 20 minutes between two sales calls or a meeting with your sales team and your marketing department, then yeah, probably 15 set, 45-minute arm workouts and Arnold style old school workouts probably won't be for you. But it doesn't mean that you cannot build your dream physique. You cannot achieve an impressive physique with a thriving health and high energy levels. So you don't have to be a gym rat and spend your life in the workout facility if you want to achieve the physique you wanted, if you want to get a six pack, if you want to get rid of your dead bod. So just to kill these excuses at the beginning, I want to tell you it's absolutely possible with 20-minute workouts, but you really have to focus there. So no checking your CRM, your emails in between sets. You will be fully focused on the workout because you can be jacked, you can be lean, you can be energetic with only 2 to 3 bodyweight workouts or gym workouts per week. So let's see, what do we have in the repertoire? But first of all, let's lay down a key brick over here, key milestone. And the key term that you have to remember is reps in reserve, RIR. What does it mean? So it means the number of reps that you have left in the tank. And the reason why I'm teaching you this is this will be a key concept we are using in this system, in this workout structure. And you definitely have to remember that we are not always going until failure. So training intense doesn't mean that you have to completely kill yourself and annihilate all the muscle groups that you have in your body. No, absolutely not. So what you have to go for is training intense enough, but sometimes when it is required, leaving a little bit in the tank. So I'm going to tell you when it is required and exactly how you do that, just to make it more simple. So your first day will be a very quick and very intense full body workout. And you will get started with a superset. A superset means performing two exercises back to back, sorry, back to back, right next to each other, either for the same muscle group or for two different muscle groups, two muscle groups which move in the opposite direction. We call them antagonist, protagonist. For example, your biceps, your triceps, they move completely different directions, and it's great to train them together because the pump of one of them supports the other. So let's get straight into it. So your first superset will be, in that sense, goblet squats with push-ups. So upper lower body trained together. And the number of threads will be only 3 over here. And what I advise is to keep this kind of 2 reps left in the tank, so 2 reps in reserve. But to be honest, if you already have some gym experience, you want to go a bit more hardcore, I would say it could be 0 to 2 RIR, so however you feel it. And only 3 sets, doable in 6 to 8 minutes. Boom, you train your chest, you train your legs. Let's go for the next one, a tricep. What is a tricep? A tricep is doing not only 2 but 3 exercises right after each other. It's even more intense, and you can do it for the same muscle group or you can do it for different muscle groups. So why triceps are important? Because they save you lots of time. So let's say you want to train your biceps. You want to do as much volume as Arnold Schwarzenegger did back then, even though it makes probably no sense for a natural athlete. But let's say you want to do it. For Arnold, it took 45 minutes. For you, it will take 15 minutes because you're doing 3 exercises back to back next to each other without a rest in between. So when you've done one round of exercise A, B, and C, you take a rest of, let's say, 90 seconds, and then you do another round. And basically, in 15 minutes, you can finish 45 minutes old school arm workout back from the 70s. But you don't have to. So here, you will only have to do single leg Romanian deadlifts or double leg ones. Just one I included for hamstrings. And then inverted rows. Inverted rows are for people who can't really do a pull-up yet. So you can switch it up with chin-ups, pull-ups. But if you can't do it, let's do inverted rows. And then planks. So basically in this tricep, you're working your hamstrings, your glutes, your back, and your core at the same time. So you're trying to think of your body like a unit of several muscle groups working together. Because if you embrace this mindset, it's much more easier to train because you won't only think about isolations, you will think about working your muscle groups together. And if you are pressed on time, this is exactly the mindset that you have to embrace. And only 3 sets, if intense enough, will be completely enough for you. As you can see, we are not going to failure only on planks. So when it comes to the Romanian deadlifts, when it comes to inverted rows, you always got 2 reps left in the tank, so 2 reps in reserve. Again, if you're hardcore, you can go 0 to 2. So maybe only 1, maybe completely until failure. It's absolutely up to you. Just one tip to increase intensity on this one. So on the very last set of the inverted rows, you could perform a drop set if you have an opportunity for that by switching to a higher bar or an easier angle and then continuing until failure. Because inverted rows, of course, you are not hanging from a bar, but the bar can have different heights. And it's completely up to you that what height of a bar you are using. Of course, as you change the angles, it gets easier after a certain amount of time. But don't look at these exercises as something that's, I don't know, written in the Bible, Quran, whatever. You can switch them up to your favor. So you just only need to see the system, how it is structured, how it works, and you can construct your own perfect workout plan for 20-minute workouts for this. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Let's go for day 2. That will be solely for upper body. So you did a full body day, mainly focused on large muscle groups on the first day. On the second day, you will focus only on your upper body. You will start supersetting pull-ups and dips together. On pull-ups, you're using just 1 rep left in the tank. On dips, you are leaving kind of like 2. You don't have to go to complete failure. If you can't do pull-ups yet, can't do dips yet, I can't emphasize it enough, go for a machine-assisted version or do alternatives. So you can do inverted rows as a substitute for pull-ups or any other kind of back exercises. Lat pull-downs are really great for that. Same goes for the dips. Do some push-ups, do some decline push-ups or chair dips, bench dips. If a bodyweight dip is too difficult for you at this point, there's nothing to be ashamed about. We are all at different levels of physical development and we can bring each other up. So absolutely no problem with that. Just know that these exercises are not set in stone. So yeah, you do 4 sets, 4 rounds of this. and it should take around 8 to 10 minutes, and then you're going for the tricep. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty epic. I'd say an overall upper body pump in under 10 minutes. So standing dumbbell shoulder press with 2 reps left in the tank, seated dumbbell curls, again 2 reps left in the tank, and with the same structure, dumbbell skull crushers. So what we are doing over here is that we are training your shoulders, your biceps, and your triceps all at once. So that's the purpose. So we start with the, I would say, larger muscle groups of the upper body with a superset at the beginning. So we are training your lats and your chest. And then we are going for delts, biceps, triceps. Boom, you've just trained your upper body. You leave the gym with confidence, with overarching energies, with these high dopamine levels. So basically, you are sorted for the day. Pretty sure the next sales call that you will have will be a close because you already have this kind of hype and pump in yourself. And let's be honest, it's like 18 to 20 minutes, so nothing to risk. Um, just a quick tip to increase intensity over there is that when you go for the last set of seated dumbbell curls and dumbbell skull crushers, so the dumbbell exercises that you do for your arms, you can perform a drop set, which means that when you finished or when you're close to failure on the normal dumbbell curls and dumbbell skull crushers, you drop the weight a little bit, so you switch to lighter dumbbells and you go one more round until failure. It's not for the faint-hearted, but if you want to work out fast, you want to work out intense. As I said before, the more intense you train, the shorter you can train, the less the duration can be, the higher the intensity is. So let's go for day 3, the killer lower body workout, but pretty sure you will enjoy this, except for if you're walking on stairs the other day, but you will get used to it over time. So you will start with a superset of, I wrote here Bulgarian split squats. I could have written goblet squats again, but let's spice it up a little bit. Bulgarian split squats, I would say they require a little bit of practice. So if you do this next time in your gym, just make sure that you take a video of it, send it to me. You know my DMs on Twitter, so, and I'm always happy to form check people. So if you want your form to be checked, feel free to send it over to me. Yeah, next one will be glute bridges, specifically targeting your glutes. And we're doing a superset over here, so these 2 exercises back to back to each other. And for a set, so for 4 sets straight, should last about 8 to 10 minutes, a very minimal rest time over here. So please don't chase weights over here. The goal is not to lift super heavy on these, it's just to be intense enough and to be able to catch a little breath in between and start it all over again. We are going for being fast, we are going for intensity. The next one will be a killer tricep again with leg curls, calf raises, and wall sits. Wall sits are an odd one out over here because leg curls and calf raises, you can do it for reps. Wall sit is a static exercise, so you basically take up a seated position next to a wall, but without a chair. And you hold yourself in that position and you try to break new records. But for now, I have written 30 to 45 seconds or until total failure. If you feel like that the wall sits are not hard enough for you and 45 seconds is just passing by like this, like a snap, then what I could recommend is, first of all, have a hot girl sit on your lap if that's not soluble in the gym right now. Then just put a plate over there, a 45 pounds plate, or 2 or 3 or 4. You can always go higher, you can always train a bit more intense, but of course don't start with the hardest one right away. So another thing, when you get to the last set of the calf raises, do a drop set, start dropping the weight and then go to failure. And yeah, so we're always going for increasing the intensity over here. And again, here's a 15-20 minute workout. If you really like stretch in the beginning or take a shower afterwards, go to the sauna, even like I can't imagine you spending more than 30 minutes in the gym if you follow this structure. So what you have to remember is that you are doing a full body day, an upper body day, and a leg day or lower body day. At the end of the week, you are basically hitting all the muscle groups twice a week. So the weekly volume is also adding up. And yeah, you don't train more than 1 hour throughout the entire week. You have more time to spend on your business, with your family, or just doing some light cardio activity, walking more, spending more time in nature. Because after all, especially if you're losing weight, what really matters is the total daily activity that you do. I don't care what kind of diet you are following, that works completely differently than what you've been told. It's not about cutting out this, cutting out that. No, it's about enjoying life, meanwhile living a healthy lifestyle which is sustainable in the long term. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy your sessions, you don't anticipate going to the gym because let's say it's too long, it's 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 minutes, then of course you can't sustain it in the long term. And if you manage to lose weight and build some muscles, you will gain the weight back. You will end up losing the muscles because you will end up losing your discipline to go to the gym because you don't actually wait for your workouts. You don't anticipate them because you look at it as a chore. If you do intense workouts like these, you might see them as a challenge, but they are so quick and they pass by, yeah, so goddamn fast, faster than this video, by the way, than that you will just anticipate, you will just look forward to doing them. So before you get started and before you copy paste this workout, just let me tell you that it's again a system. It's not the exact workout that you have to do. There might be other exercises that are more suitable to you. So that's why I always recommend either consulting a coach about it or doing your own research if you really want to waste time on that. But never just copy paste the program and expect that it will work for you because, with that mindset, you could just easily copy and paste Arnold Schwarzenegger's workout plan and not see results at all because he's a completely different person. So what you have to see is just the basic principles that full body, upper body, lower body, and we go through all the muscle groups. That's it. And we use supersets, so 2 exercises back to back next to each other, and trisets, so 3 exercises. I'm not going into like giant sets and stuff like that. That's very advanced, but feel free to ask me about that as well. And sometimes to increase intensity, we are doing drop sets, so we are dropping the weight, and without rest, we are doing another set of the same exercise until failure. This is that simple, so you don't have to overcomplicate it. But a few tips to keep progressing and to make sure that you are always a little bit better the next week than you were the previous week. So for the rest of your life, you can progress in the gym without having to spend too much time there. So the first one is progressive overload. Always adding a bit more to your weekly workload. Whether it is 1 more rep or 2.5 pounds heavier weight, it still counts. So always keep that in mind. Progressive overload, week by week. That's why it's good if you have a training diary or an app that we use with my clients to constantly track your trainings and to see the numbers automatically, and you don't have to bother with that anymore. Next one. I would increase constantly the time under tension, and by that I mean that the total amount of time your muscles spend under the tension caused by a weight. So when you're lifting, what really matters is not the number of reps, but how long those reps last, how long your muscles are being stressed by these weights. So what you can do is, for example, very slow negative. So you can do quick and dynamic positives. So for example, a quick and dynamic bicep curl, but when you're letting it down, do it very slowly, 3 to 4 seconds. Stretch those muscles, let them grow. And you can also stop for just 1 second at the peak contraction. This is what we call paused reps. So to contract the muscle at the peak for a little bit more. This also stimulates more muscle growth week by week. And yeah, just basically experiment with the tempo. The reason why I say quick and dynamic positives is that in the positive phase, you can pump up those muscles, you can teach them how to be dynamic, you can activate the so-called fast twitch muscle fibers. When you're going down slowly, you're activating the slow ones, you're tearing down the muscle, you are stretching it down, you are teaching it how to behave under prolonged pressure. So these are my tips basically for progression. Take this with yourself and incorporate into your routine, and feel free to implement everything that you can see in this system to make sure that you can progress even with 20-minute workouts. Because let's admit, your business is the living proof that you have the accountability and then you have the persistence to overcome any obstacles that stand in your way, right? So also including mental barriers that are your limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And that's why I say it's never too late to invest in your health and to discover that it's important for you, especially when you are scaling or growing your business. Because as long as you're committed, you can achieve results that you could only dream of, both in your business and in your health as well. So just like my clients did, like Joe, Benjamin, Hunter, Silas. So all these guys, so minus 50 pounds, boom. This was minus 60 pounds plus 40 pounds of muscle, boom. Minus 15 pounds plus 10 pounds of lean muscle, minus 34 pounds plus 9 pounds of lean muscle. So here's the proof that these guys with less than 2 to 3 hours a week could pull it off. Why couldn't you? So they didn't have like better genetics or more time or less hectic, less occupied lifestyle. Just look at their before pictures. So they neither of them were born as as a Greek statue, as a demigod. So they all, of course, put in the work, but not too much. So they didn't train themselves to death. They trained as much in a week as other people who follow, let's say, workout plan of Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff like that in a single day. So, if you could choose between training 2 hours per week and 2 hours per day for the same results, of course, you would choose the first one. So you can have more focus, more time, and more energy for your family, for your business, or whatever ventures you may pursue, because that's the ultimate goal after all. So yeah, you can see these guys over here one by one. Startup founder, software guy, media company owner. So if they could pull it off, and if these guys could pull it off, Francis, Josh, Aditya, Connor, all of them with different businesses all around the world, I'm pretty sure that I'm 100% confident that it would be a no-brainer to you not to try this and not to implement this system in your workouts and in your health routine, basically. So, in general, if you feel ready to optimize your sleep and recovery so you can have twice more energy levels during the day without using any external stimulants or without having to take melatonin at night, stuff like that. If you want to kill your stress levels or at least manage your current stress much better, because you're an entrepreneur, you will always meet bigger and bigger levels of stress. You can't avoid it. And if you want to get twice as much done in 50% less time, so you can outwork your competitors the smart way. You want to bridge the gap between your current state. You might feel like a little bit, skinny or with a dead bod. There's nothing shame about that. The shame is staying like that. So if you want to bridge the gap between where you are today and the physique that you imagine for yourself, or what would make you feel better and confident without sacrificing your time, or if you want to have those concrete crushing testosterone levels when you were a teenager back then I think we will make an amazing team together. So you can click over here, book a free call. Actually, next week I'm giving away 3 free health consults to anyone. So if you are interested, and if you book a call here, fill out some basic questions, then We can talk about working together. I can give you some free actionable advice. So it's definitely a win-win for everyone. I want you to win. I want you to scale up your business 8, 9, 10 figures. Let's crush it and never use time as an excuse. You're not too busy. You do have the time. And there's no such thing as too much when it comes to your health. It should always be a priority. But now that you have the power of 20-minute workouts in your hands, then I think it will be absolutely simple for you to maintain and to adopt this lifestyle and to reach any health goal that you want, even in this year, 2023. So thanks for watching and see you next time.